thee before kings that they may behold thee.
Go ahead.
Thou hast defiled thy sanctuaries by the multitude of thine iniquities, by the iniquity of thy traffic. Therefore I will bring forth a fire from the midst of thee. It shall devour thee, and I will bring thee to ashes upon the earth in the sight of all of them that behold thee.
That's deep. All right, let's go. Let's go ahead. Read that verse 19. Mm-hmm.
All they that know thee among the people shall be astonished at thee. Thou shalt be a terror, and never shall thou be any more.
That's deep. So he gave him the end of his story in that place. But let's go to Job chapter 26. We're gonna read one verse in Job chapter 26. 26 and 13. Job 26 and 13. Job chapter 26 and verse 13. Yeah, that Ezekiel 28 is a deep one there. You know what I'm saying? And he ran it down from, the beginning of his story to the end of his story there. Job 26 and 13. Go ahead.
By his spirit he hath garnished the heavens. His hand hath formed the crooked serpent.
So his hand formed the crooked serpent. You know what I'm saying? That's God did. God created him. Remember we read in Ezekiel when it said in the day that thou was created, that was perfect in the day that thou was created until iniquity was in thee. So it wasn't like Satan just popped up on the scene with God. He ain't equal to God. He was created by God. Let's go on over to John chapter 8. John chapter 8. John chapter 8. And we're going to read a couple of verses here. And John chapter 8 and this verse 42 through 47. When you get there, you can go ahead and read. Go ahead.
Jesus said unto them, if God were your father, ye would love me.
So in this story, he's talking to the scribes and the Pharisees, right? You know what I'm saying? And they like, yeah, we are the seed of Abraham. You know what I'm saying? And he like, well, if you are the seed of your father Abraham, then you know what I'm saying, you gonna do like him. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead, keep reading.
For I proceeded forth and came from God, neither came I of myself, but he sent me.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you not understand my speech, even because you cannot hear my word? Ye are of your father the devil.
So he calling him, because we read in Genesis, he said, I'm putting enmity between the woman's seed and the seed of the devil. So now we starting to see, because the devil don't have children. You know what I'm saying? That's a mystery, a fairy tale, excuse me. That ain't no, that's a fairy tale. The devil don't have no physical children. He got spiritual children. And these are how you are of the spiritual child of Satan. He said, read that verse again.
Why do you not understand my speech, even because you cannot hear my word?
Go ahead.
You are of the father, the devil, and the lust of your father you will do.
Mm-hmm.
He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it.
Go ahead.
And because I tell you the truth, you believe me not, which of you convinceth me of sin? And if I say the truth, why do you not believe me? He that is of God hear God's words. Ye therefore hear them not, because ye are not of God.
Okay, let's go on over to Job. Let's go back to Job chapter 12. Job chapter 12. Job chapter 12, and we're going to pick this up in verse 16. When you get there, go ahead and read.
With him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are he.
So we just showing here that the deceived and the deceiver, both of them belong to God. So the devil and the ones who are the sons of the seeds of the devil, all of them, they still belong to God. That's the trick. That's the trick. All these guys. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like the devil is out here just, you know what I'm saying, doing his own thing. See, matter of fact, let's go to Job chapter 1 and we're going to see exactly how the devil got to operate. You know what I'm saying? Like, he kind of operate like that cartoon. When you see the cartoon and you see like the little guy with the pitchfork and you see like the little thing with the little halo around his head. You know what I'm saying? He whispering in your ear. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how he operate. You know what I'm saying? That's how the devils operate. You know, but we're going to see here exactly what they got to do if they want to deal with you. You know what I'm saying? If you trying to follow the laws and statutes of the Most High, then, you know, you got protection around you. The devil just can't just be jamming you like no reason. You understand? You know, they got to go and see the master. Because they work for him to deceive and the deceiver are his. Let's go ahead. Job chapter 1 and pick it up at verse 6. Go ahead.
Now therefore was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them.
So you got the sons of God, you got the good angels, you know what I'm saying, and then you got Satan. He came with them. You know what I'm saying? Because you know Satan, they ain't gonna be called no son of God. You know what I'm saying? Because that means, you know, at John 8 wouldn't make no sense. Because if you of your father, then you of God, and Satan ain't of God. So it said, you know, Satan ain't the son of God. And he came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them, right? Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto Satan, Whence cometh thou? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down it.
That's right.
And the Lord said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth God and eschew of evil?
That's what make you perfect, when you fear God and you getting away from that evil stuff. But go ahead.
Then Satan answered the Lord and said, Do Job fear God for naught? Has not thou made an hedge about him, and about his house, and about all that he hath on every side? Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land.
Go ahead.
But put forth thy hand now, and touch all that he hath, and he will curse thee to thy face.
Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto Satan, Behold, all that he hath is in my power. Only upon himself put not forth thy hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of the Lord. And there was a day when his sons and his daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house.
All right.
And there came a messenger unto Job and said, The oxen were plowing, and the asses feeding beside them, and the Sabines fell upon them, and took them away. Yea, they have slain the servants with the edge of the sword, and I only am escaped alone to tell thee.
Go ahead.
While he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, The fire of God is fallen from heaven, and hath burned up the sheep and the servants, and consumed them. And I only am escaped alone to tell thee.
So it was getting bad for Job. Everything was going wrong for him. You know, the Savior and the Saviors fell upon him and took him away. His oxen and his asses and stuff. Then he said another time, he said a fire of God fell from heaven and burned up stuff. You know, it was just getting bad. This was Satan though. You understand? So, you know, we seen how Satan functions. Satan done went to God and asked God, can I go mess with Job? And now you see how Satan, how he messed with you. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, if your life is bad and things is bad happening, you know, you get into car accidents and, you know, stuff that happen to your family members and, you know what I'm saying? But the thing about it is, it's Satan who operates, but by permission of God. And keep reading though.
While he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, The Chaldeans made out 3 bands and fell upon the camels, and have carried them away. Yea, and slain the servants with the edge of the sword. And I only am escaped alone to tell thee.
Go ahead.
While he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, Thy sons and thy daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house. And behold, there came a great wind from the wilderness and smote the 4 corners of the house, and it fell upon the young men, and they are dead. And I only am escaped alone to tell them.
Skip down to verse 21.
And said, Naked came I out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return thither. The Lord gave, and the Lord hath taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. In all this Job sinned not, nor charged God foolish.
Keep reading though.
Again, there was a day when the sons of God